So with that in mind, let's talk about why engagement matters. Right. So there are three measurements that happen inside the engagement space. The first is those that are engaged. Gallup did a poll in 2020 on this, in July of 2020 on this, and so they could update their engagement numbers, particularly with the pandemic. And they're finding about 30 to 40% of employees in the average organization runs in the engaged spectrum. So 30 to 40% are engaged. Engaged employees are showing up, doing their work, excited about the vision, tied to the purpose, and really propagating sort of positive PR inside your organization and with your customers. Okay. 45 to 57% of employees are not engaged. So this is that middle section, the orange box. Those are people that are actively looking for work elsewhere or willing to entertain other opportunities. So they may not actually be looking, but if somebody called and said, hey, I've got this job, they'd consider it. Right? And I don't know about you, but when I start looking for work, my investment in the work I'm doing starts to dribble off a little bit, right? So that's a normal reaction. Now, 13 to 15% of employees are actively disengaged. So this is the group of people that are pulling against the engagement efforts and spreading their misery. More than likely, folks in the actively disengaged bucket also run the risk of having a fixed mindset. So they can't see past the problem of I'm stuck at this company to try and solve for that, right? And so they feel stuck in this organization and they spread their misery and degrade the engagement and morale of those around them. So that's what happens with actively. On average, that's 2.6 engaged employees for every one actively disengaged employee. Now, there are companies with top engagement scores. In those companies, they have 14 engaged employees for every one actively disengaged employee, and they see these benefits: 17% higher productivity, 20% higher sales, 21% higher profitability, 10% higher customer metrics or customer satisfaction, 40% fewer quality incidents or defects, 41% lower absenteeism, 24% lower turnover in high turnover orgs, and 59% lower turnover in low turnover orgs. Right? So this is a pretty significant impact just by getting folks to the engaged state. Right? Another thing to note, if you're having the arguments with senior leadership and they can't see the value and they're responding to shareholders' requests, is that earnings per share grow at 4.3 times greater rate in organizations with high engagement over those with low engagement. So there's a real financial benefit to spending the time for the cohesion and engagement that really keeps people focused on the purpose and tied to the organization.